Canada-U.S. border closure extended to January 21 as coronavirus cases soar.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Canada-U.S. border will remain closed until January 21 of next year in an effort to curb rising cases of the novel coronavirus, the Canada Border Services Agency said Friday. The news comes days after Health Canada approved Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine, the first batch of which is expected to be doled out this coming week. The U.S. approved Pfizer's vaccine on Friday, with the country's Food and Drug Administration saying shipments were expected to be delivered next week. Both countries have been struggling to contain rising numbers of confirmed COVID-19 cases. On Friday, Canada saw 6,766 new cases, the third highest daily total ever reported by the country, bringing Canadian confirmed infections to 448,471. To date, 13,251 people in Canada who tested positive for the virus have died. As of Saturday, the U.S. had seen nearly 15.9 million confirmed cases of the virus and 295,791 COVID-19 related deaths, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins University.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So I know this is because they only really do it for a month at a time, and it'll 100% get extended again, but this particular date is pretty satisfying.
If you combine December 11 and December 12, the U.S. reported 487,958 positive test results. Since the start of the pandemic, Canada has had 453,257 positive test results. Canada's entire pandemic happens in the U.S. every 2 days. Of course, Canada's population is 11.4% of the U.S. population, so we should compare numbers per capita. In Canada, in the last 7 days, for every 1 million people, 16.25 died of COVID-19.
Letting health officials do their job, and putting politics into the back burner, has made a huge difference in Canada. Even then, it's been a tough struggle according to my family and friends over there, but politicizing the crisis would have been devastating. Unlike here in the US, where the GOP decided to politicize it right at the get-go.
Most of the political headbutting that does happen in Canada over the virus always seems to be influenced heavily by the US state of affairs, considering the anti-maskers are all heavily influenced by Trump supporters, and most are Trump supporters themselves despite not living in the U.S. I won't say that Canada doesn't have its own idiots, but sometimes it feels like our idiots might have gone along with things a little better if it wasn't for stuff going on in the U.S. giving them ideas.
Trudeau directly said the border is staying closed until the pandemic is under control. So mid-2021.
Living in the U.S. with a lot of family in, and I'm from Can. I'm really looking forward to being able to see my family even in a social distanced and masked encounter.
You can visit Canada from the USA if you have immediate family living in Canada. You need to quarantine for 14 days upon arrival and must have arrangements for how you will receive food and supplies. Check for the Arrive Can app for iOS, SND, Android, or just search for the app on the web.
Currently restrictions are I am not supposed to even see friends or family here in BC locally, and you're recommending this guy visit family in another country? Pretty sure he's just going to be turned away at the border. If not, something is horribly wrong without restrictions.
A colleague of mine came back from NZ, and had to stay in a hotel room for 2 weeks. He lives in Van, but in a shared apartment, so hotel room it is. Heard some feedback from people who visited their families in Europe this summer. On the way back, they were told to self-isolate at home.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.